Okay, let's dive right into this. We're looking at Pudgy Penguins today, specifically their new PNG token based on the source material you shared.
Yeah, fascinating stuff.
And what jumps out right away from the info is, well, this isn't a new brand emerging from nowhere, is it?
Not at all. The material mentions a huge social reach, over 50 billion views, apparently.
50 billion plus physical products, a community already in crypto. They have presence.
Definitely. And our focus today, based on what you've got, is that PNG no token. The sources say it launched December 17th, 2024.
Right, December 17th. So, okay, let's unpack the token itself. What are the specifics from the source? Like, what kind of token is it?
The material identifies it as an SPL token. That's the standard for Solana.
Okay, Solana-based. And the supply. The sources usually give pretty precise numbers.
They do. And these are, well, memorable. Total supply and maximum supply are both listed as 88,888,888,888 million.
88 billion, 888 million. Wow, okay. Lots of eights. And what about the circulating supply when it launched?
At the Binance listing, the circulating supply was specifically 62,415,951,646 PNGU.
So over 62 billion right off the bat. What percentage of the total is that, does
Oh.
the source say?
Yep, it works out to exactly 70.22% of the maximum supply.
70%.
And it also details an allocation for what they call the Binance HODLer Airdrop. That's 2,666,666,666.64 tokens.
Okay.
That's 3% of the max supply, according to the figures provided.
Got it. So we have the type, the quantities,
Yeah.
big quantities. Now, why does this token exist? What's the mission or the value proposition described in the material?
Well, the mission, as the source puts it, seems to be mostly about growing the Pudgy Penguins community.
Growing the community. How so?
It talks about building a group of people who really resonate with the brand, being a beacon of, and this is their term, mimetic culture.
Mimetic culture, like internet vibes and shared jokes, that kind of thing.
Essentially, yeah, using that shared identity and also signifying being part of the brand's underdog story. It's very community and brand focused.
Right, which makes sense given their existing reach.
Yeah.
But there's a point in the value proposition section that really stands out in the material you shared.
You're probably thinking about the utility part.
Exactly. What does it say?
It's pretty striking, yeah. The material is explicit. The token has no utility associated with it.
No utility. That's
No.
unusual, right? Usually tokens let you do something.
It is a significant detail. No specific function within an app, no governance, nothing like that mentioned.
So if it doesn't do anything technically, what's its purpose? How does the source explain its value?
The source presents it very simply. It's just a way for people to join the Pudgy Penguins community, to belong.
To remind.
Yeah. The material suggests the brand itself keeps growing through other things, retail, content, gaming, social stuff. Those seem separate from the token's function, or lack thereof. It relies on the existing brand pull.
So for you listening, this is maybe why it's worth paying attention. It feels like a different playbook for a token, doesn't it?
It does.
Instead of tech utility, it's leaning, really leaning on community identity, brand affiliation, amplifying that massive reach the source mentioned earlier.
Exactly. The material positions the token's value purely in being part of that community, part of the brand. The token is like a badge, supported by everything else the brand does.
Okay, so let's recap quickly based on your sources. We've got the PNG token, SPL standard, those huge 88 billion supply numbers,
Right.
a large chunk circulating from the start, and critically, this explicit statement of no utility. It's purely about joining the community.
And leveraging that very strong Pudgy Penguins brand that, as the source notes, already has that huge social footprint, 50 billion plus views.
The key takeaway from the material seems to be token as community identifier, period. Separate from utility, backed by the brand's other activities.
That's the core message about the token itself, yes.
Which leaves us, and you, with a pretty interesting question to mull over based on this source material. If a token is launched with the clear description of having no utility beyond community belonging, well, what does that signal about where value might actually come from in this space? Is it always about the underlying tech and what it enables? Or is the power of a really strong brand and that feeling of belonging it creates becoming just as valuable, maybe even more so in some cases? Something to think about.